Now it's a roller coaster. You can't hide it anymore. What's happening here right now, especially in Berlin? Everyone needs to know that Christians are already being hunted now. And if you happen to have the wrong Bible with you, I really have to say it like this, and it's not the Quran, then you'll be stopped by the police, beaten up, and arrested. That has happened to some people in Berlin. And I have to say now, even the church can no longer look away from what happened yesterday. The situation is getting more and more tense. If you want to support this channel, I would really appreciate a like, hype, and a subscription. Let's take a look at the topic. And I say, what happened yesterday, that's not acceptable anymore. You can't arrest Christians just because they are Christians. That's basically like it used to be, a hunt for Christians.
Gestapo.
We are the Christians.
We are the Christians.
Dear Berlin Police, I will talk about what you wrote about this in a moment, but please, is what's happening there still normal? By the way, I will also post what triggered it in a moment, what led to people simply being arrested right off the street. Man, this is like the persecution of Christians in countries we don't even want to be like. In North Korea, for example, in Africa, in certain Asian countries. Exactly where Christians are persecuted for their faith, Berlin is now included. And as a country at that, and the question I ask myself is, where is the outcry on Tagesschau? Where is the report on Welt? It's been 16 hours. I deliberately waited this long with this video before showing it to you because this is absolutely explosive. Take a look at the video. It has subtitles underneath. How the Berlin police are acting there.
You are just coming to me and asking, are you Muslim? No, I'm a Christian. And then you are saying you cannot pray here? Yeah.
But I see you. It's not a place for praying.
It's a public site. We are just disturbing no one. We are not talking to people. We are just reading the Word of God.
And this is now a serious question also to police officers who follow this channel. Do you want to wipe out Christians in Germany? Is that what you want to do? It's a serious question. A police officer approaches a person and asks them, "Are you Muslim or Christian?" The person answers, "Christian." And then he says, "Well, then you're not allowed to pray here. For Muslims, it wouldn't have been a problem at all if you had read the Quran, but for Christians, no." And how they treat Christians, I'll show you in a moment, because you haven't even seen the disturbing images yet. And I ask myself, really, it's something deep inside me. Do they want to completely destroy and annihilate us? And is the police going along with it? This isn't meant to be hate or incitement or hate speech or anything like that. It's a legitimate question. Because aren't we all equally valuable before the law? Are we? Don't we all have the same rights? Or is it now the case that if you're a Christian, you soon have to be careful not to get arrested and end up in jail somewhere? You don't believe me? Well, take a look for yourself.
Open up! Open up!
Open up.
Open up! Open up!
That's it for today.
Go beat up the people, arrest them, they have a...
Enjoy it, okay? Go again real quick, okay? Those were people.
Who are devoted to Jesus, who walked with a cross to a memorial. The authorities wanted to prevent that so that no people would be disturbed by it, for example. Muslims who also live in Berlin, they can pray in peace. And I don't know how these police officers can still look at themselves in the mirror in the morning. I have no idea what they tell their families about what they did there. But what does that remind me of? Of beating up old people. You saw that, right? Beating up old people, arresting them because they're holding a protest march with a cross. I don't know, I'm at a loss for words how disgusting the whole thing is. Because for me, as someone who saw this and also heard the police statement, I have to say, guys, are you serious? Really? When it's the leftists, it's okay if they drum. But when it's people from the middle class, it suddenly has a military character. When the leftists blow up our infrastructure, there's not much of an investigation. But if there's an insult to a politician, well, they target people arriving at their place at 5 a.m. while they're still in their bathrobe. I feel sick. It makes me want to throw up when I see these videos.
To walk there with crosses and banners, we are forced to leave them here. But they are allowed to hold their assembly here. The police leadership permits that.
The end of the story was, the initiator of the whole thing broke his ribs. The initiator has a severe concussion, and he was just arrested by the police. And at the same time, there are pictures circulating here on the internet that I don't want to show you because I can't verify their authenticity, that someone apparently slipped him something. But what I can see is that at the time of his arrest, his face still looked completely normal, and only later did he have serious injuries. And yes, Polish television is completely full of it. Thanks again for sending me this link. I probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise. Then again, I wonder what's actually going on here. Tell me, how much lower does this government have to sink? And every time, and this isn't an attack, but with the man with the Bible and now with the police officer, there was always, I would say, stereotypical thinking, at least one Muslim involved who was following the whole thing, didn't like it and interacted accordingly. Of course, that's just, well, an assumption on my part, and I have to declare it as such. And now the police press statement is coming up, so just take a moment to let these images sink in again. Auf dich wirken.
Derek, how are you feeling? I wrapped my hand, my arm hurts.
Okay, this is a democratic country.
Yes?
What are they doing? What are they doing to us? That's democratic. They will represent us. That's a democratic.
Robert is giving out right now. As you can see, 4 officers, 5 officers. That I can do it. Berlin police?
You've once again messed up the German-Polish friendship, and I really have to tell you like that. And of course, in Europe, this will mean that the Polish will still continue to see us in a good light. And yes, when they win at the European Championship or the World Cup, everyone celebrates without any crimes. Their Christmas markets don't need to be protected, but I want to. And as I promised you, also say very briefly, this is the statement from the police, so everyone already knows the whole situation, and I'll read it out. Shortly before 4 p.m., about 15 people wearing yellow vests gathered at the sculpture park in front of the Reichstag in the Tiergarten. With banners, a large wooden cross, and loud shouts, they wanted to walk to the Polish memorial stone. However, such a procession to a memorial site was prohibited by our officers. Well, I would say it was really strictly prohibited. Instead, through a language mediator, they were offered to hold a stationary demonstration at the sculpture park or to go to the memorial site individually. When the group nevertheless walked together toward the memorial with the cross and the banners, our officers intervened. 6 detentions were carried out. I would say they hit them pretty hard, but that's just my personal perception. Since there was resistance in this situation, which I did not see, our officers also used coercive measures. After the police measures, all individuals were released at the scene, and some of them then went to the hospital. Unfortunately, pictures speak louder than 1,000 words, and they were Christians, nothing else. They were patriotic Polish Christians who simply don't feel like it anymore. Yes, they're fed up with all this crap here. That reminds me of a song. Where does that lyric come from? Maybe write it down below, then I'll know that you watched this video all the way to the end.